Hey guys, I got some bad news. Strap in. For all of you who enjoyed the Thor content recently with the rejuvenated CTP of Rage gameplay and his ability to kind of crush Thanos and ABX, it's over. I have to switch Captain Marvel and Thor's obelisks or CTPs because I need to use her tomorrow for the Universal Female Hero Day, and unfortunately the CTP of Destruction just doesn't cut it for max scores. However, it has given me the pretty great opportunity to give you yet another comparative video between a CTP of Rage and other CTPs so that you can get a better gauge for how powerful and how viable and how worthwhile this type of CTP is for World Boss Ultimate content. We already know its exploits in ABX, but there's other game modes out there for those of you who perhaps want to get the Ant-Man Legendary Battle. You want to pick up a CTP of Rage from your CTP selector, and you don't know if you want to slap it on Captain Marvel. Let's take a look. So with this build, I'm not going to change anything moving. Well, actually, no, I do have to change some things moving back and forth. But with this build, as it currently stands with the crit damage of the CTP of Destruction and the rolls that I have on her gear here, on her uniform and on her Uru, we are standing at 35,000 and change energy attack. Actually, we're using this team up. That doesn't matter. Nope, that's her team up. Okay, there we go. 35,000 energy attack and just under 45,000 HP. So quite tanky. We've got maxed out ignore defense and cooldown, and then we've got 56% crit rate, max crit damage, and dodge. So I foresee switching the obelisk or switching the CTP of Destruction for a CTP of Rage that I'll have to tone down the crit rate and kind of boost up the crit damage. I believe her fourth gear, no, it's ignore defense. Shoot. So where the hell am I gonna get all this? Okay, I may have to switch this from HP to ignore defense and then switch her fourth gear from ignore defense to crit damage. That might be the best way to do it because all these 5-star 1 2 3 4 5 6, oh man, 1 2 3 4 5, no, 1 2 3 4 5 6, well, whatever. There's a lot of crit rate Urus that I'm gonna have to lose. Okay, it's a sad day for me. However, in addition to that, I also tested her out in World Boss Ultimate. I did more than an hour's worth of testing in 3 different bosses, and I wanted to report my results so that you guys can know. And I got some screenshots to boot. So against Thanos, she's performed particularly well with the CTP of Destruction. So for those of you that want to use Captain Marvel for PvP as well, the CTP of Destruction is an absolute unit for her. It's excellent. It's probably the best one that I've tried so far, and I'll give Rage a try soon, but I was able to ace the vast majority of my timeline teams with Captain Marvel using the CTP of Destruction. With it, she was able to comfortably complete stage 25. I mean, not comfortably, but I think I can do it pretty consistently. I didn't play perfectly, and I was able to get him down to 1 bar with time left, and it really helps the fact that most of his attacks don't penetrate her guard hit. So she actually doesn't get hit that often when she's in Radiant form, and I achieve maximum Radiant form by using Nick Fury as a team up so that she can use her 5th skill on the co-op skill. The same cannot be said about Corvus. So stage 25 Thanos is pretty consistent. Stage 50 Corvus was a lot more difficult. I actually died with a couple of bars left getting the screenshot, but it was much harder. I had to restart multiple times. She keeps getting hit, or she kept getting hit by bleeds in between, and although her ultimate skill, her 6th skill, the meteor thing, appears to be an iframe, there are times when you get poked mid-iframe, mid-6th skill, and then you get bled, and the bleed is like 3,000 for 5 seconds, which is like 15,000 HP, and then you just basically die. So Corvus is actually very difficult for Captain Marvel to complete, even with the CTP of Destruction, which is weird because he is basically the easiest world boss. And that was that was using a ignore defense, ignore dodge team up. So I think it does emphasize the value of CTPs of energy, particularly for this world boss, because then I wouldn't need as much ignore dodge in strikers, and I could apply more mind control, or I could switch around the leaderships. But because she doesn't have any native ignore dodge, it makes it a lot more difficult outside of her tier 3 skill to build up the team in kind of different ways. And then Ebony Maw, I was able to get pretty close to completing a stage 50. Now, I did get pretty lucky in the second half of the fight with mind control, but she can do it with the right strikers and a lot of aggressive attacks. The good thing about Captain Marvel that is a great counter to both Corvus and Ebony is the fact that their iframes don't matter. She can iframe ignore through her 4th skill, and that gives you many more opportunities to proc your mind control on Invisible Woman and Sharon and Scarlet Witch and possibly Luna Snow. And so you end up mind controlling Ebony Maw a lot more often than you would with other characters, let's say Thor or whoever, because you're getting additional opportunities every rotation, even if he iframes. So basically the full 5 minutes is available to you to mind control him, whereas other characters need to wait in between for those iframes to finish to get their next shots off to get the mind control. And if it triggers mind control as he's iframing, he'll dodge it anyways. So here we go, the moment of sadness. Please cue up the sad violins on your end. I don't want to get any copyrighted music bullshit, so I'm just going to roll with whatever we got here, whatever is playing right now on the Marvel Future Fight speakers. I don't have my headphones on, but it was a fun run, Thor. I had to give CTP of Rage, of course, to Magneto, and I can't take that one off because it's necessary. And then I also ended up giving one begrudgingly, but I did end up giving one to Victorious for ABX as well, and only having 3 and not being the blubberiest of whales, this is basically the fate that I've resigned myself to, paying 1,200 crystals to swap CTPs. So you can cry for me, you can laugh at me, but yeah, I mean, where else are you going to see this? Exactly. So here we go, CTP of Rage going on to Captain Marvel. We have some work to do now because her crit rate just shot up by 30%, so she's way overcapped by 12%. And then, of course, the crit damage is way overcapped as well, which is not a good thing. And so we're going to have to figure this one out. She also gives herself crit rate with Radiant Form. She gives herself 15% crit rate, so we're actually overcapped by 15 plus 12, so almost 28% over the crit rate cap. That's bad. That's not good. And so we're going to have to figure out a way to do that, but the problem is it's basically all coming from her Uru. So that is a problem that I've basically set myself up for. I'm actually going to switch the third option here, the energy attack. I'm going to roll this to crit damage instead of energy attack. There we go. That was a nice roll as well. Rather than having to play around with other things. Even if her crit rate is capped, I don't really care as much right now. I just want to bump her crit damage up to a reasonable level. So we're actually going to go ahead and change this option. If I end up changing around her obelisk again, this will be the least painful option. Changing the Uru is honestly the worst thing that I can do. So here we have the crit damage up to almost 190, which is very good, but the ignored defense, as you can see, is quite low. It's at 43, so we definitely need to bring it up. We don't really have a lot of other options other than her 4th gear, or 3rd gear. So I didn't really want to do this, but it seems like we're going to have to roll the HP away from, or roll it away from HP to ignore defense as soon as we hit ignore defense. Ignore defense, ignore defense. There we go. Not a great roll, but it's not a big deal. And we're back up to 49%. That's not high enough. We absolutely need to go higher. So we need to rank up Elektra's uniform now. Oh my gosh, we need 130 bios. This is a never-ending spiral. We finished Shadowland, 130 bios. That's 150. That's 135 right there. So we go speed. This is a disaster. I thought Silk was Elektra. Holy crap. I almost made that mistake. That would have been awful. Yeah, man, switching CTPs. I do not recommend this at all. Even for those of you at high-level alliances, this is annoying as hell. And frankly, I really did like using her for PvP, so yeah, man, I don't know. I just don't have another option for female universal hero that can do 2 million. If I did, I would have kept the CTP of Rage on Thor and used him for the regular universal day that he's applicable for. So now we went up to 1363. We can still go, well, we can go with 40 points higher. It's really not a big deal. We only went up like 60 points or 100 points. But there we go, 49.87. This is pretty much as close as we're going to get. This is a pretty decent exchange for the time being. We're going to have to swap around some Uru. Can we swap around one right now? This 4-star crit rate for a 4-star crit damage. Upgrade it to 5 stars. Yes, very good. Okay. Wait, we wanted ignore defense. I made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. You just weren't listening. You weren't watching. One more. Do we have a non? We don't. Wow. That's great. We need to 5 stars too. Okay, this 4-star one we're going to swap for an ignore defense. Don't hate me. And we're gonna get it just to 3 stars. That should honestly be enough to cap it. We need to roll some of her Uru to 5 amplifications to take advantage of those 5-star HPs that I've equipped, because right now they're not being amplified there in the corner. But now we've got everything capped. We've got crit rate still overcapped by whatever 23%, because it's 15%. Whatever, dude. It's bad. It's bad, but it's fine. It's fine. So we're going to start off first with level 25 Thanos. I expect this to be a bit of a cakewalk. This is the team up I'm using. Double support. We've got the all attack buff. We've got the support buff from Nick Fury. We've got the super armor so she doesn't get guard broken. We've got the team up. And most importantly, we've got the team up skill effect, which causes her to use binary form. So this is really where you get good. We've got these 5 strikers, but we are going to be subbing out Luna Snow. Or actually, we are going to be subbing out her. We don't need the mind control that badly, but we absolutely need the, wow, where is it? The heal. Where the heal? There we go. Here we go. All right, Thanos. Let's see what you can do. And let's see what the Rage CTP does when you actually trigger it probably. So that's a lot of damage. Holy crap. All right, this might be over too fast for me to actually gauge the value. But again, you saw from the screenshot, we had a decent amount. Wow, dude, what is going on? This damage is insane. Actually, her tier 3 skill doesn't do that much damage, but this is just bonkers, dude. Wow, he's getting obliterated. Whew. I'm curious to see how... Golden Shuri, calling your name. I'm curious to see how she does against Ebony more specifically. Let's trigger the iframe ignore on her 6th skill just to prove to you guys that it's actually there. We're gonna do this here. We're gonna do this here, and then we're gonna do that. 4th skill, slap the base. So much damage. Wow, we're flying through this stage right now. The CTP of Rage on Captain Marvel is real. I did not imagine this at all, and this is, yeah, if it's beyond my imagination, you know it's serious. You know there's cause for concern when it's even beyond my wildest imagination. Look, yo, it makes the 4th skill look like it has good damage. Wow. I can't even speak English right now. It makes the 4th skill look like the damage is good. Get that binary form back. Wow, dude. Wow. She went down to 7 bars even though he was transitioning into the next phase. I think we're going to finish this in about 2.5 minutes. This is what it looks like to me, the pacing. And I can just binary and 4. Yeah, this is nuts. Look at this damage. And his debuff doesn't matter. That's the thing. I think the other best option for the CTP of Rage besides ABX is specifically Thanos World Boss. Now that I think about it, because his World Boss, one of the difficulties is that your all defense down doesn't work, right? But in this case, it does work. It doesn't. He doesn't seem to deny the. Look at this. I don't want to kill him because I want to do more practice. Yeah, his debuff removal, the little yellow feather, doesn't work against. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is insane. I can't go any further. That was, yeah, 2.5 minutes. Pretty much what I expected. This is bonkers. This is like 2 minutes faster. I completely erased him from history. CTP of Rage, Captain Marvel. Think about it. It's probably possibly a good idea. Let's try Ebony. No, let's try Corvus. No, Corvus is just annoying. She's gonna die anyways. The CTP of Rage doesn't affect her defenses. By the way, when I pause like that, I think I've mentioned it before to you guys, but it's because I'm trying not to burp. I have like a burping issue when I drink a lot of water, and I drink a lot of water before the videos to, like, you know, make my voice sound smooth rather than sounding all raspy and shit, because I'm sitting here talking for like 20 minutes. So that's why I don't have like a acid reflux issue or anything like that, but this is this is gonna give you acid reflux if you don't have a CTP of Rage. This might upset you. That was 20 seconds. This is actually insane. The damage is just wild. This is stage 50. She looks like Scarlet right now. And look at this. Ignore iframe. Ignore iframe again. More ignore iframe. And you can move her around while she's doing that too. Wow, dude. This is crazy. This is wild. Look at this damage. She just completely ignores everything the boss wants to do. It's just my turn, Look at this damage. This is stage 50. She's making it look like stage 10. Tier 3 skill still looks like it's not that much damage, but her... Oh wait, I don't have to proc at the beginning. What am I doing? I'm actually playing suboptimally. I was still pretending like it was a regular proc, so I was still trying to line up my 4th skill with the beginning of the... Wow. I forgot that I can just spam. It's been so long since I've been able to just spam. Wow. I have to switch there, otherwise she could have died. It's not likely, but yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, I don't really need to I don't even know what to say. Is she gonna die? This damage is bonkers. And with double ignore iframe, she has it on 6 and on 4. This is lagging a lot too, because she's just so powerful. But this is just this is sick. This is sick, boys. I need to go to the doctor. This is sick. This is stage 50, by the way. This is some Sharon Rogers shit right here. I don't know why it's lagging so much. It might be from her, from Radiant Form. But yeah, this is over. Oh, I was trying to use her 5th skill. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just shocked at how good this damage is. I'm actually shocked. I know I don't look shocked in my face. I know I look like I have no expression because I'm concentrating and trying not to kill him while also gauging the numbers so I can see, so I can, you know, remember them in my head for later. But this is savage. There is no reason she should be able to finish this in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. She finishes this faster than Luna Snow finishes it at tier 3. I mean, with the CTP of Rage, I imagine that Luna would finish it faster than this, but this is pretty crazy. The fact that she is not an elemental damage dealing type, I don't even want to know. What is she going to do to Corvus? I'm actually kind of curious. What is she going to do to Corvus? Corvus, what's going to happen to you, buddy? Are you just going to melt? I have to swap around this team pretty aggressively. But with the 50, we can go like this, and we'll get 90%. But I am kind of curious how hard she hits him, because Corvus has low defenses. That's kind of the reason why he becomes such an easy boss, and why you can do, you know, crazy shit like stage 84, Deadpool, Sharon Rogers. I wonder how high Captain Marvel. Imagine Captain Marvel with the CTP of Rage and Deadpool proccing the all defense down. But yeah, she gets bled through the fourth skill and the fifth, not the 4th skill, but she gets bled through the 5th skill. So it's actually quite, oh my gosh, it's actually quite difficult to not take damage against Corvus. But you're not going to be playing him very long if you're playing at this speed, and if you're playing at this pace. And she's all healed up too. Wow, 30 seconds. It took me more than a minute to get here before with Captain Marvel. And oh, and you know what? So I'll explain why the CTP... Sorry, I've just been kind of reacting and trying to keep my jaw from falling off the ground. But I'll explain what makes this CTP of Rage so perfect for Captain Marvel. Because I think in some of my other tests... Why is it so laggy? I think in some of my other tests, it may look like the CTP of Rage is not as good as this, so it's a bit it can be a bit confusing. Well, Cynicalex, the CTP of Rage, you know, you said it was good for Thor, but it's not the best obelisk for everybody. But now Captain Marvel's using it, and she's shitting on everyone. I think it has more to do with Captain Marvel and the way the character is designed, in terms of how it affects the CTP of Rage. I don't know what's going on with this. There's some sort of particle effect that's making it lag. I'm not really sure why. Nox, an inferior emulator. Where my iPad boys at? Any non-lagging iPads in chat right now? What is the deal? But yeah, she's shitting on this stage. I'm like a minute and a half ahead of where I was without it. So it's like it's at least double the damage. It's at least double the efficiency. So I think right now it's pretty easy to say Captain Marvel is probably the #1 character for the CTP of Rage if you only have one. It makes her #1 for 2 days of Extreme Alliance battle, which will net you your 100,000 in the first 10 seconds, and it'll net you 2 million as well if you tier 3 her and you play aggressively and you're in, you know, a top 50 alliance situation and you've got good cards and whatnot. So her potential with the CTP of Rage is absolutely, it's the top. It's literally maxed out in ABX, and it also seems to be completely disgusting in World Boss and World Boss Ultimate. And I think the reason for that really has to do with the synergy between the last 2 effects of the CTP of Rage and her tier 2 skill, Carol Core, because it increases the buff effect by 20%. So rather than getting 60% decrease, that gets bumped up to whatever it would be, 20% of 60. I'm not going to do the math, shut up. It's like 70 something, it's like 72% maybe, I don't know. So that goes up, and then additionally the increase goes up from 0.9 to whatever it is plus 20%. Additionally, both of these 5-second procs get buffed by 30% the duration, so she gets 70. Excuse me. She gets 70 seconds, guys. She gets 7 seconds of She gets 7 seconds of these buffs. So I think it really amplifies how OP. I'm not gonna say the Ness. It really amplifies how OP the CTP of Rage is when it's put on Captain Marvel. But don't be kind of fooled, or don't be tricked into thinking that you're going to get this level of output and this much of a jump switching from a CTP of Energy or a CTP of Destruction to a CTP of Rage for every other character. There are only a few characters that have this buff effect, and all of the other ones are pretty much trash. Lizard comes to mind. He has the same one as, almost the same, but it's, oh, you know what? It's active buffs. It's not all buffs. Oh, that's sneaky as hell. So never mind. I don't think there is any other characters that are as good as Captain Marvel with those precise effects, but there's probably one that I'm missing out there. I know Lizard was similar. I didn't know that the wording was actually that different. Active buff versus all buffs, which makes it substantially worse than this. But I think there's one more out there that does have that. But you guys can remind me in the comments because it's slipping my mind now. So let me know what you think of my betrayal of Thor. Let me know what you think of Captain Marvel completely dumping on World Boss with this new Rage CTP. Do you want to see ABX action as well? Do you want to see me hit 2 million with my eyes closed? Let me know. I don't think it's with my eyes closed. Anyways, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Watch all the videos because I need the help. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.